What's going on, guys? It's your boy Carson here, back with a brand new video, and in today's exciting video we're going over my detailing cart. Alright guys, and I've done a video on this before, but we need to do a second video. The first video was really bad, and I do apologize about that. But this is a little less unorganized and looks a little bit better, and with everybody calling everything V2, that's the same thing, which is a little bit different. We'll call it V2. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into my detailing cart. Now, I've changed a few things, of course, since the last time you saw it, so let's get into it. This video will follow the same format as we did the last time. We'll start with the chemicals up front that I use almost every wash, the top chemicals, and then follow the bottom chemicals down below. So let's go ahead and start off with these first row of chemicals. The first chemical you see is in a press-all sprayer labeled paint sealant. Now, what is that? Well, that is Inspiration Defender by P&S Detail Products. Defender is my go-to paint sealant here, and I have it, of course, in the press-all. I do find this does a great job, especially with the dual action. You just have to make sure that you are spraying it correctly. I've upgraded a lot of my bottles to the press-all sprayers as I do prefer them. Honestly, I really do like the dual action sprayer. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but once you get used to it, you're good to go. Following that up, you guys have seen this in countless videos. This is Armor Detail Supply Wheel Cleaner in the Wheel Cleaner press-all bottle. Now, recently, Armor Detail Supplies came out with their own press-all bottles there with their Wheel Cleaner label, so I'll probably swap over to that Wheel Cleaner label. I, of course, love Armor Detail Supply Wheel Cleaner. It does an immaculate job. It's a gel formula that clings onto the surface, and can't complain, does a great job. Following that, we've got the tire cleaner bottle. This is tire cleaner by Armor Detail Supply. Now, one thing that's a little bit different about this bottle specifically is I have a standard Tokol head on it, and that's for one unfortunate reason. Armor Detail Supply tire cleaner has unfortunately nuked the sprayer head of the press-all. I do have it down below waiting for potentially a rebuild kit, or when they come available, just buying the standard sprayer. I just have it in the acid resistant sprayer right now, and it's doing just a fine job, but unfortunately that is something you do have to consider if you are going to put Armor Detail Supply tire cleaner in one of these press-all sprayers. Next up in this press-all bottle, we have drying aid. Now, this is MVP's Slipstream, and as I'm using it as a drying aid and paint sealant, testing a little bit more of the longevity side of MVP's Slipstream, but other than that, I'm very thoroughly impressed with Slipstream, so definitely check it out in the link down below. Next, we've got another product that can be used as a drying aid or just as a quick detailer. This is Coach Chemi FSE. Now, this of course is a custom label that I made myself here with the Obsessed Garage backing, and then the FSE label I made. Now, FSE is a quick detailer with a lime scale remover, so it is great to get any of those stubborn fresh water spots, especially if it's super hot outside. I use this especially when I'm washing in the really hot weather. Of course, when it's winding down to the cooler months, I'm not gonna be using this as much, but this is a staple when I'm detailing in the summertime. Next up, we've got rinseless wash. This is absolute rinseless wash. This is about a 64:1 dilution. So it's pretty heavy, but I use this for a lot of things. This is kind of my grab and go, especially if I'm doing a quick wipe down on the STI, or if I'm doing a quick thing in the house there that just needs a quick rinseless wash, I'll grab this guy, spray it down, and we're good to go. This guy I have diluted pretty heavily at that, again, 64:1 dilution, just to make sure that it's the safest possible form that I'm using in here. One of the last products here on the row is Full Send. This stayed from the last version of the cart, and of course, since it is a staple here in my home detailing garage. Now, Full Send is a great tire dressing, especially for those big off-road meaty tires. You just spray it and forget it. I talk a lot about Full Send, so check Full Send out if you haven't already. And finally, to round out the front line of chemicals here, we've got P&S Express. Now, this is my go-to interior cleaner, especially if stuff is really dingy and really gross. Now, if it's something that's just really lightly dirty, I'm gonna reach for something like Armor Detail Supply Pilot, but this definitely stays on top here, and you can just spray it on, wipe it off. It's got a pleasant cherry scent. Does a great job. That's it here for the front line of chemicals. Let's jump into the top layer here of more chemicals to talk about here. A lot of these are more specialized. We've got a lot of soap here, wheel cleaners, tire shines, and soap. Let's jump into it. Starting over here, we've got a bunch of different items from Coach Chemi. Starting off, we've got their Coach Chemi GFX. Now this is their Christmas version of their GSF, which is their gentle snow foam. This is one of their best foam soaps that they do sell, and this is just their Christmas version. Personally, I do prefer the Christmas version, of course, more than the standard regular version. Now this of course stays on the cart as this is a tried and true staple and does a great job. Now let's jump over to the next product. Next up is the Sledgehammer of wheel cleaners. This is Alkaline Wheel Cleaner by Coach Chemi. Now, Coach Chemi's Alkaline Wheel Cleaner is something that is very unique. You can use it on more than wheels, but you have to be very careful. Of course, with stuff that is aluminum or chrome that's not treated, it will potentially cloud it up and potentially damage it. So you have to be careful with this. But for regular wheels that need an extra sledgehammer, or for tires that are very, very brown, I'm reaching for Alkaline Wheel Cleaner, and I can dilute this up to 10:1 and it's still gonna have great performance. So this definitely is staying on the cart. Jumping over to a little bit of protection, we've got Protector Wax. Protector Wax does give that ceramic-like behavior here for a couple months and does a phenomenal job on the surface. I've recently switched over from hydrofoam sealant to Protector Wax just to kind of experiment between the two and kind of figure out which one I like a little bit more. So I'm gonna be going through this entire bottle and figuring out, hey, which one do I like a little bit more? But honestly, I'm leaning more on the side of Protector Wax, so definitely pick some up if you can. Now, finally, for the Coach Chemi products, we've got Active Foam. Now, Active Foam is one of those products that I have to keep on the cart. It's my dedicated decontamination wash if I just wanna grab and go. Now, it does smell immaculate. It smells like sandalwood and just promotes a great wash. It's a little bit thinner, so it will run down and pull all that contamination down to the bottom of the vehicle rather than sticking it to the top and potentially scratching the surface. Active Foam is one of my favorite decontamination washes, definitely a favorite of mine. And to round out the soaps, we've still got a little bit left of that blue car wash soap. Of course, if you guys saw the last video, then you know about this. Now, blue car wash soap is one of those cheap pH neutral soaps that I bought a while ago that I've still been trying to get rid of. What I've been doing is just putting it here in this bottle and putting a little bit in my wheel bucket when I'm cleaning wheels, and it's been doing a phenomenal job. But it's been doing great for what I'm using it for, and so I'm gonna stick to doing that. Next, I've got the tried and true IKE Foam Pro 2, and it's been doing a phenomenal job for me. I use this everything from wheel cleaners to adding a decon soap to a little bit of APC, whatever it needs to do, I'm gonna put it in here. This is doing a great job, and that's why I keep it on the cart. Two things of equipment I've got on the top here is a box of nitrile gloves here and a measuring cup for my soaps and other chemicals. I'll link both of these down in the description if you're interested. These gloves are 4 mil thick, and I find that those are perfect for automotive detailing because they're not super thick, but they're not super thin either, and they'll protect your hands, of course, from any of those harmful chemicals. All right, and jumping over here, you see a bunch of regular IK bottles and mixed bottles. So let's go ahead and do a speed run through all of these because there's quite a bit of them. All right, and first up, we've got Coach Chemi Gumi Fix. Now, of course, you use this on anything from interior plastics to interior mats. It's really meant for the mats, and so that's what I use it for. I have it in their standard sprayer here, so I can spray it and spray it on the surface, wipe it off, and we're good to go. That's what I use on interior mats and on some interior plastic surfaces. Next is a dedicated interior dressing. This is Natural Finish by P&S. Natural Finish is one of those great interior dressings that does exactly that. It leaves a natural finish on the surface. Use this on everything from door cards to tires to floor mats, whatever you like. Of course, if you use this on any of those tires or floor mats, make sure you level the surface because it can be a little bit slip. Speaking of tire dressings, I've got two on the table, both by Armor Detail Supply, that are the best. Now, personally, I really like Armor Detail Supply Ghost, and this is a tire sealant. So this is gonna lock in that protection for about 2 to 3 months, depending on where the car is living at. I use Ghost on some of my clients' cars, especially if I know that they're gonna live a little bit more of a rougher life, because I wanna lock in that tire shine protection. Next is my personal favorite tire shine. This is Tire Plus by Armor Detail Supply. This is what I use almost every single time I wash the STI or sometimes even the Forester. Now, Tire Plus smells like banana and does a phenomenal job on the surface, leaves it kind of a matte finish, and again, does a great job. Next, we've got Bug Off. Now this is diluted about 50-50, and it does a phenomenal job. Bug Off is their dedicated bug remover that you just spray on and pressure wash off. I keep this on the cart because sometimes bugs will still be on there on the winter time. It just depends, because of course they're more prominent in the summertime. Now, if you can't get those bugs off with Bug Off, you're gonna need a super strong APC, and that's where Force comes in. I've got Starnagloss Force here in the IK sprayer. Of course, I only use this on special circumstances because I don't have very much of it, and it's kind of hard to get nowadays. So I kind of keep this for special occasions. And of course, we've got our absolute rinseless wash here in our reused Rags to Riches container. This, of course, is one of my favorite rinseless washes right now, and it's super slick when you're using it. I have this in a reused Rags to Riches container, so I can just easily spray it out this side, or I can measure it on this side, depending on what's a little bit easier. Next, I've got G-Technics Quick Detailer. I'm almost out of it, and I'm still testing it because I really do like it. Their Quick Detailer is one of those products that you can use as a drying aid, but has zero protection, so it's not gonna mess up with any existing protection that you have on the surface. I'm almost finished with this, and so this will definitely be potentially reordered. We'll see what happens. And finally, to round the top side of the cart here off, we've got two specialty products. The first one, of course, is G-Technic Water Spot Remover. I use this water spot remover on things in the house, and of course on the cars if they have any water spots. If this doesn't take the water spots off, they're gonna unfortunately 9 times out of 10 have to be polished and potentially recoated, but it's worth a shot trying this out first. For the final product on the top layer here, we've got Built Hammer Automac. Now, Automac's a very unique product because it is a rust inhibitor, meaning that you can spray it on there and stuff won't rust, hopefully. And it does add a temporary layer of protection on there. And so shout out to my friend Ryan over at Fine Detailing. He's been doing a great job, and he's the one that showed me this trick. Oh, and I almost forgot, the last one here is Reflect by PNS. I've got this in a mini 360 sprayer here, and this is a glass finisher. You can spray it on, it's gonna add a little bit of hydrophobic behavior to the glass and finish out the glass and make it look amazing. So let's jump over to the brushes here and check those out. Alrighty guys, and welcome to the brush section of the detailing cart tour. Now I've added 2 different brushes here. I've added the Easy Detail brush that lives in my wheel bucket, and I've added these 2 small brushes from Detail Factory. So let's go ahead and quickly go through each and every one of these brushes super quick. Next up there, we're gonna have the short and long handle of the boar's hair brush. And the boar's hair brushes are gonna give you more scrubbing power, but potentially give you scratching results. So be careful when using the boar's hair brush. Following that, we've got the short and long handle of the synthetic tri-grip brushes. Now, the synthetic tri-grip brushes do a great job, and they're not gonna scratch the paint when used correctly. Now, those are my go-to, especially when cleaning wheels and cleaning little lug nuts or little intricate areas. Following that, we've got our 2 sizes of tire brushes, our regular tire brush and our tire brush XL. These, of course, is to clean off any excess tire dressing or browning that is left on the tires when cleaning the tires. Next, we've got the Detail Factory wheel face brush. Now, of course, I love using this wheel face brush, but I do like using it on regular stock wheels and stuff that has a really hard finish, not a super delicate finish, because it is a very hard brush. Now, following that, we've got Detail Factory's barrel brushes. We've got the mini and the regular size. Now, I just did a video covering the regular size and the Easy Detail barrel brush, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. But those barrel brushes do a great job, and I love each and every one of them, so make sure you pick some of those up. And finally, we've got the Detail Factory fender well brush. You can use this pretty much anywhere. It is paint safe, but it is a little bit harder of a bristle makeup, so be careful where you're using this. You can use this on anything from engine bays to, of course, fender wells to get shocks or control arms, whatever it may be. So let's jump into the last part of the cart. Alrighty guys, and for the next section, I'm gonna take you in on a little POV so we can kind of check this out together. Alright guys, and a lot of this stuff unfortunately has not changed, so we'll kind of quickly go through this and I'll show you what I've got on here. Alrighty, and starting off with the bulk chemicals, I've got that same bucket soap that I'm using that I talked about a little bit earlier in the video. So that is what I've been using, and it's been doing a phenomenal job. Jumping over here, we've got a little bit of Brake Buster. Now, you guys know that I use Brake Buster, foam it on almost every single time I clean wheels, and that does a phenomenal job. Finally, on the bulk chemicals, we've got P&S Pearl. Now, Pearl does a phenomenal job at cleaning the car, and it's a little bit more of a runny soap, but honestly, I've been having a great time with it. So I do have a Pro Blend cap on it here just to kind of measure it out a little bit more precisely, but I do use this in the bucket sometimes, and honestly, it's a great soap. Following that, we have some more specialty chemicals over there in the corner. We've got Terminator by Stoners there, just in case there's any tire dressing that won't come off. We have to use a little bit of Terminator. Next, we've got a APC bottle that is a little bit of P&S EnviroClean that is diluted about 5:1. So again, if I need a little bit more of a sledgehammer, or if I'm using a lot of APC, I'm gonna reach for that rather than this Starnagloss Forced. I've got the carpet brush by the Rag Company. I use that a lot with my floor mats there to clean those out, especially on those all-weather floor mats. And then the Ultra Utility brush there by the Rag Company. Again, what a great brush. And finally in the middle, that is my replacement sock of my Detail Factory mini barrel brush that I need to get around to replacing. Following that, we've got two Pearl applicators by the Rag Company. I use these for tire dressing or just applying some spray sealants if I want to get a little bit more of a precise application. Jumping over here, I've got that same Harbor Freight ladder that I talked about the last time. It does a great job, and it's a great working platform, especially if you're on a budget, and honestly, no complaints there. Over here in these last two totes here, this one here is the interior bin, if you will. So it has all of the interior cleaning pieces there. So if I'm going to do a full scale detail on the interior, I can just grab this and go. And for the final bin here, we've got our Rag Company tire applicator and just a few more brushes that we don't use all the time, like a wheel polishing, that kind of stuff, some cut brushes by Detail Factory, all that fun stuff there. All right guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video of me discussing the detailing cart. If you did, make sure to press the like button down below. It really helps out the channel. If you are interested in any of the products that we talked about today, they're going to be linked down below, and check those out. If you're on a mobile, make sure to press the hype button because it does boost smaller channels like mine to larger audiences, and it helps out more than you know. But if you did enjoy the video, make sure to press the like button, subscribe down below if you're brand new, and I will see you guys in the next video, and I'm out. Peace.